Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check today's video out. And we're going to be talking about what is the favorite food of a bass. You know, out of all the different type of stuff they have to eat, what do they prefer, and how you can use that to your advantage, how you can use the lures that would, produce the best to your advantage. So we're going to get into that in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, guys, a quick thank you. I just want to extend a big thank you from everybody that has been taking time to go into my video description on every video and use all the links I put in there. If you guys are using my Solar Bat link and my Fish the Moment breakdown link and jig link and all my tackle warehouse link, you guys are really doing a big job and helping to support the channel. So me and my family really appreciate that. Okay, what is the favorite thing for bass to eat? What's their deal, man? What do they love to eat more than anything else? And the answer is there's a lot of different stuff, but the thing to remember about a bass more than anything else, they are an opportunistic feeder, and they don't discriminate as far as, the foods that they're going to go after when they can. Literally, anything that moves in the water, anything that moves is potential prey for a bass. I don't care if it's a bird, if it's a snake, if it's a little animal, if it's any type of smaller fish, any type of crustacean, it doesn't matter. They're going to go for it if, they think they can get it in their mouth and swallow it. And they'll also eat dead stuff. I mean, one of the biggest bass I ever caught down at Grand Lake, I was catfishing with dead shad. I'd actually taken a shad and cut it in half, and I was throwing it out there fishing for channel catfish and caught a big bass while that dead shad was sitting on the bottom on a mud flat. So that was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me. But ultimately, okay, what is the favorite food of a fish? In my opinion, as far as what they prefer over anything, in my opinion, it is a soft shell crawdad. Crawdads molt during certain times of the year, and they lose their shell, they shed their shell, and when they shed their shell, their back, the shell on the crawdad is like mushy. You can take your finger and you can push it in, and it's super, super soft. And for however they know, bass know when those crawdads are molten. They know the difference between a hard shell and a soft shell crawdad. And a soft shell crawdad is their number one food. I mean, it's full of protein. It's easy to eat. It's just good for them. They love it. Doesn't require a lot of energy because, they can sneak up behind a rock and just suck it in. It's not like they have to chase a shad down or, have you ever seen a bass chase a perch, trying to catch a perch? They will expend a tremendous amount of energy trying to catch a perch going down the bank, but not so with the crawdad. And on top of that, if the soft shell crawdad is missing a pincher, that is even a better meal for the fish, because if you put a soft shell crawdad and a hard shell crawdad next to each other and you got two pinchers, fighting, when the bass looks at them, these pinchers are going up, a fish is going to sometimes not go for that. I mean, larger crawdads, when they get real defensive, a lot of times, if you've ever studied a bass, they will look at that crawdad and they won't bite it. They'll observe it. But if you have a soft shell crawdad down there with one pincher, they're going to suck it in every single time. That is probably one of the reasons why bottom bouncing lures are so effective, because in my opinion, it doesn't matter really what bottom bouncing lure that you're fishing. It could be a jig, it could be football head jig, it could be a worm, it could be drop shot, whatever. I think, in my own personal opinion, those fish, they react to those bottom baits like they're after crawdads, because there's not a lot of like worms and snakes that are on the bottom in the lake, but there are crawdads. Crawdads are about the only creature down there that uses the bottom all the time. And that's why those baits are so consistent, is they're down there on the bottom. Fish don't have to ambush anything. They don't have to chase anything. They don't have to go vertical or horizontal. They can stay on the bottom. And I think that bass, for the most part, prefer to be on the bottom. I don't think, I mean, they'll suspend, and they'll suspend next in open water. They'll suspend out, next to cover, but the comfort level for a bass, to me, is on the bottom next to some type of an object down there. So anyway, guys, spend more time fishing jig imitating lures or crawdad imitating lures. One of the best things you can do as far as just catching bass day in and day out is get good with the little finesse jig, because all the crawdad studies that I've ever seen or read, they say that a bass, their number one crawdad size preference is like a 2.5 to 3 inch crawdad. They don't like the big giant ones or the tiny ones, but like a little 2.5 inch crawdad is their favorite meal. So try to make your baits resemble that, and should help out down the road. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys catch some. We'll talk later.